Hello everybody, it is Kiki. Welcome back, and welcome to the spring and summer book haul. I am so excited about this. I definitely have some good books to show you, and that's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna show you all of the books that I have purchased in the last couple of months. And there's a lot, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I honestly don't even know where to begin, so I think I'm just going to start with the 4 books that I purchased on a trip to New Orleans back in April. So, of course, New Orleans, I had to get Interview with a Vampire by Miss Anne Rice. I really like to read books kind of based in the area that I'm at, and, you know, this is an iconic New Orleans book. So I got this and started it while I was there. I have since finished it, and I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend this. It was definitely not what I expected. I kind of thought it might be just like a boring vampire classic. It was so much more than that. It made me think about life, and it just, it was so good. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm so glad that I picked it up. The next book that I picked up there was Meet Science Essays. This is a collection of essays, so it's nonfiction. I was genuinely kind of just drawn in by the cover. I think it's so beautiful. And this is about, I think, the meat industry in America, but it's also kind of using that as a metaphor of just like humanity, which I think will be very interesting. I've been getting more into nonfiction, so I am excited to dive into that collection of essays. Then at a bookstore / coffee shop called Baldwin & Co., I did pick up Giovanni's Room. Like, of course, it's called Baldwin & Co. I had to pick up a James Baldwin. I haven't read any of his fiction. I do own a copy of If Beale Street Could Talk, but I have read his nonfiction, and I really like it. So I just assume I'm also going to love his fiction as well. So I did pick up Giovanni's Room. I know it's American expats in Paris in the 50s. I believe it's queer. Very excited to read this and get into Baldwin's fiction work. And then I also picked up this like wood-burnt Baldwin & Co. bookmark there. At the same bookstore, the last book that I got in New Orleans was this one, Until the World Falls Down. So this is a romantasy. I'm very excited about it. I'll be so honest, I don't really know what it's about. I know there's a labyrinth setting. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which both sound so good to me. But the main reason that I picked this bad boy up, the character art inside. Like, the quickest way to get me to read a book is pretty character art. Can you even see that? It's pretty character art. Like, I'll show you the front again in case it, like, come on. So I'm very excited to get into this. I've been saving it for the fall time, so we're going to be reading it very soon. I'm very excited. Beauty and the Beast I love, so I'm really excited to read a little Beauty and the Beast retelling. So our next 3 books I got from Blackwell's, which is a UK website, and they ship, or it's a UK bookstore, and they ship to the States. So I did get 3 books because I wanted the UK covers, not gonna lie. First and foremost, I got The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. This one, I don't really know what it's about. I kind of just wanted to be in the know. Everybody was talking about it. I've never read an Abby Jimenez. I really want to start my journey with her books, and I didn't want a hardback, so I ordered this one from the UK to get the paperback. And then our next one is called Adelaide, which is such a pretty name, by the way. I love the name of this. I also don't really know what this one's about. I know that she has kind of a torrid entanglement, I think, with an older man, but the reason I wanted to pick it up is because I had seen so many good quotes from it, and I was like, you know what, I will definitely read that. Like I said earlier, the quickest way to get me to read books is fan art. The second quickest way is a good quote. So, you know, had to pick that one up. And lastly, from the UK, I got Broken Dove. This is the sequel to Silver Elite, and I can't believe I haven't read this yet. That book, the ending, I needed this book. I needed it as soon as I finished that one. So the fact I've had this in my hands for like a month and a half, maybe even 2 months now, girl, why have I not read this yet? But basically, we were following our main character, who is a mod, and in this world, mods are not allowed. They get, you know, unalived if you're found out that you're a mod. And when they use their powers, because mods have special abilities, when they use their powers, they have like a physical thing that showcases that they are a mod. Our main character, however, she can use her powers without that physical thing happening, and thus she is the perfect person to go undercover into like this elite training academy kind of thing that trains all of like the elite guards from the other side, the people who are unaliving her people. So really interesting. I really liked the first one. I know it was very polarizing. I was on the side that really enjoyed it. I thought it was just a fun, good time. And like I said, that ending, like I needed this one. And I wanted it from the UK because one, I just prefer to read paperbacks, especially if they're chunky. But two, I picked up Silver Elite when I was in Ireland last year, so I already had the paperback version of that one, so I needed this one to match. Now I just have some like random ones here. Of course, I picked up Yesteryear. I still haven't read this yet. I definitely want to get to it sooner rather than later, but everybody and their mother is reading this book. I feel like this one's one of those books that have kind of transcend just being popular in the book space, and people who don't like read regularly or picking this one up. It's about a trad wife influencer who somehow, some way gets transported back in time and now has to like live that life that she's perpetuating on the internet, even though it is very different from being, you know, in the modern day than it was, you know, in the 1800s. So very excited to get into this one, see how I fall on the ranking, because I know it's also a very polarizing book. This one I have read, and that is Phoebe Berman's Going to Lose It. This is by a famous podcaster. I had no idea who it was, so my opinions were unbiased, but we're following a young woman, Phoebe Berman, who is getting ready to turn 30 in 30 days. We began 30 days before her 30th birthday, and she is still a virgin. She has a lot of anxiety and kind of just issues wrapped up in that, and this is her journey to not necessarily like losing her virginity, but kind of unpacking her issues with intimacy and then her friendships. I really liked it overall. It wasn't like my favorite thing. I think I gave it like a 3.5. I would recommend it if you're interested, but it wasn't like a 5 out of 5 for me. But I did really like my reading experience, and I'm glad that I picked this up. I actually found this at a Marshall's for like $15, so that was great. This one I'm really excited about, and it is Close to You. I had this out on KU, returned it, and then I was like, you know what, I actually want to read that. Went to get it back, and then it was off of KU. So then I saw it at the store, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna pick it up. I have also been saving it for the fall because it just like a traumatic little romance. I mean, it's not very little, it's quite huge, but like something like this kind of just gave me fall vibes, so I've been saving it for the fall, and I'm really excited to get into it. All I really know is we have a young girl who can't speak, I think due to abuse that she suffered in her home, and then there is another, well, not another, there is a boy who I think helps her through her trauma. I've heard really good things about this. I have not seen a single person not rate it 4 or 5 stars, mostly 5. So I'm very, very interested to see how I'm going to fall on that spectrum. This one is called 1 Week Girlfriend. It's fake dating. It's by Monica Murphy, who I know wrote quite a few popular books. I haven't read anything from her, but I just wanted a cute little fake dating, like sports romance, and I haven't read it yet, but it's really tiny. I think it'll be just something fun, lighthearted, little fun fake dating sports romance. It's totally my vibe, so I did pick this up. This one is kind of different for me. I have been reading a lot of nonfiction lately, but I've been mainly getting it from the library or just listening to the audiobooks. But this one I thought was interesting. I found it at a little free library. It's Catherine the Great, so it's just all about Russia's Catherine the Great, and I thought that'd be kind of interesting. I read while I was standing there outside of this random person's house looking through their books. I read the first little bit and it was fascinating, so I'm very interested to read this and just learn more about Miss Catherine. So these next couple of books I'm going to speed run through, because if you've watched my most recent Come Book Shopping With Me video, the one in Florida, I purchased all of these there, but I did just want to show you in case you haven't watched that video or you don't care to. So I am just gonna speed run them, you know, in case you did watch the video, so you don't have to hear me yap about the same books for 20 minutes. First and foremost, at Barnes & Noble, my boyfriend got me Starside by Alex Astor. I am so excited about this. So excited. A fun fantasy. I don't know what it's about. Kind of the theme. Me not knowing what a book is about, but I read Summer in the City by her last year and loved it, so I'm really excited to get into her fantasy. I haven't read Light Lark. I do definitely want to, but like this one I'm going to be reading very, very soon. Trust. This also was one that my boyfriend bought me. It was a blind date with a book. It's called The Alchemary. We follow a girl who has amnesia. She's torn between 2 brothers. There's trials. I think it's an academy setting. Very excited to read this one in the fall as well. Love when I get books that I've never heard of and like blind date with books, and just in general finding books that I've never heard of at bookstores. So very excited to pick this one up. The next book I got to read with my boyfriend. He's just a theme right now. I went on this trip with him, but it is Unsteady. So we watched Off Campus together when he came and visited me a couple weeks ago. He loved it. He ate it up. I loved the show, didn't really vibe with the book, which I read years ago. Don't want to continue that series. He wants to read the series. I'm gonna let him do that on his own, but he was like, we should read a book together. This boy has not read a book for pleasure since he was like 10 years old, but he's like, let's read a book together. Let's read something like Off Campus. I want another hockey romance book. I was like, so you want to read a smutty hockey romance book with me? Okay, sign me up. Like, you're speaking my language. So we found this one in the bargain section at Books A Million and grabbed it, and we are currently both reading it together. We're on page, I think, 45. We read that while we were on our trip, and he's getting ready to move into school next week, so I think we're going to try to finish it after he moves in before school starts for both of us. So very excited to continue that, but also that I'm reading it with my boyfriend. I just think that's so special. So these 3 books I picked up at a flea market. This guy had like amazing deals, had some insane finds for so cheap. He was kept just like bringing books out. I could have stayed there for hours. If I lived in that area, would be there every single day. And if I didn't have to pack all of these home in my suitcase, would have bought more than this. But let's get into the 3 that I did buy. Firstly, for $3, I got My Brilliant Friend. This is about 2 girls who grow up together. We follow them from their childhood to adulthood, and it's set in Italy, and I'm really excited about it. The other 2 that I got from him were $5 each, in great condition, and they are the first and second book in, I don't even know what this series is called, but it is Anna Huang's sports series about soccer. So I'm very excited about both of these. This is book 1, this is book 2. There's art inside. Let me show you. Like, I'm so obsessed with these books, these covers. I am a little nervous because I didn't love the Twisted series, and that's all I've read from Miss Anna Huang, but they were $5 for perfect condition. I'm gonna give them a go. Now, probably what was the most exciting book that I bought, Embrace. This came out while I was there, and I was like, we have to go to a bookstore to get this. This is the 4th and final book in the Off the Ice series, which is a hockey romance series. My favorite hockey romance series. Sorry, my favorite sports romance series, period. Point blank, period. I love these books. And I'm so excited for this one because not only is it the conclusion to a series I love, it's also following one of my favorite side characters. Don't know what it's out. I don't know what it's about aside from that. I think it's Coach's daughter. It could be about anything. It could be about him going to the grocery store. I don't care. I'm so excited because I love him. And finally, the last 2 books that I picked up in Florida, I have Into the Blue by Emmett Brody. I know this is following 2 actors. It's set in the early 2000s. It spans years. Everybody and their mother loves this. I'm very excited to see how I feel about it. And our last book that I picked up in Florida, but not our last book of the video because, like I said, I have a book shopping problem, and that is Hooked. This one I am actually currently reading. I have about 100 pages left. I started it while I was on my trip, read it on the plane, and now here we are. I just meant to do this and I just completely missed that. Wow. But I have Hooked here, and this is about 2 women in their 30s. One is a wife blog influencer, and the other is a successful businesswoman who really likes that blog. They become friends in real life, and the businesswoman kind of slowly becomes obsessed with the influencer, and that is what happens in here. Let me just tell you, since I'm currently reading it, it's bonkers. It's bonkers. I recommend it though. I just dropped it in the floor. Finally, our last stack here, although it is quite hefty, is my Fairy Loot and Illumicrate stack. Now, Fairy Loot, I used to have all 3 subscriptions, the YA, the Romantasy, and the adult. I have since canceled YA and adult because I really just didn't feel like they were giving me books that I was super interested in, but I did keep the Romantasy. I try to utilize my skips. I wish they would give us a little bit more, not gonna lie. So these are just some of the Romantasy picks from this year so far. And then Illumicrate, to be honest, they haven't really been doing a lot of books that have been interesting to me. However, they have unlimited skips, so I keep it anyway because usually once or twice a year I do find a book that I am interested in, and since they have unlimited skips, what's the harm? That being said, other than one of these Illumicrate books that I'm about to show you, I did pick up because I forgot to skip that month. So, love that for me. Let's go ahead and get into it because I have quite a few here. I also don't know which month these are from. I'm so sorry. I know I could have done more research and figured that out for you, but like, I just didn't. Not gonna lie, I just didn't. I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna start with the, I think 3. Yeah, the 3 or 4 that I have from Illumicrate. First is Thistlemarsh. So this is what this one looks like. I really like the edges on this. This is really pretty. This stands out to me. I had a dream where I envisioned this, so very interesting. So cutie. So cutie. I'll show you the back as well. I honestly don't know what this is about, and I don't care to know. Like I said, I don't really like to go into books knowing a lot, and especially with this like monthly subscription, I try to find out enough to know if I want to cancel it or not, and then just leave it, because I think it's so fun to have someone else pick out a book for me. I think that's very interesting. That's kind of why I'm subscribed to these services, is to get books that I would never have heard of. All right, our next Illumicrate book is Salt Swept. Very cutie, very wavy, very, oh, that's a big ass octopus. Or is that an octopus? I think so. So obviously this one's about pirates. How fun. I really like the art in this. This is one that I accidentally got, but I am really excited to read. I've been vibing with pirates lately because I watched One Piece. Not gonna lie. A ragtag crew, a perilous quest. First, they need a boat. Next, they need to learn how to sail it. I think that will be so fun. Now, this one I did actually intentionally get. This was the only one that I intentionally ordered, and that is Bloodhound. So this cover, not my favorite, but I am very excited about the book itself. That's pretty. I like that. Oh, have I even been showing you the inside of these? I'm so sorry if I haven't. But I know that this has 2 rivals. There's a duel. We're following both perspectives. I think there is some queer elements, some queer relationships with one of our main characters. There's, I think, an academy. There's bonding to animals. Very excited about this one. I haven't really heard anyone talk about it, but when I saw that it was the pick, I was like, you know what, that seems really interesting. I'm going to actually get that one. And I did. And last, for Illumicrate, love this cover, by the way. This is so stunning. And it's called Alka. All right, Alka. Very pretty cover. Like, stunning. I love the gold foiling. Like, it just seems so nice. Ugh, a little knife to the throat scene. Yes. Don't know what it's about, but it seems very intriguing. I'm very excited about this one because, not gonna lie, the cover, can I show this? I think I can. Like this, beautiful. Especially, right, when you take this and then you flip it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, now let's get into the Fairy Loot books. I have a hefty little stack here. To my knowledge, these are all romantasy. If there's a YA or 2, that is because I might not have canceled my subscription until earlier this year. I cannot remember if I did it late last year or early this year. So if there's a YA, I'm so sorry, but I do think they're all romantasy. First, I have Verity Guild. This one I'm really excited about. I think it's on KU as well, but I know that it's kind of like a whodunit mystery, but also like an enemies to lovers, romantasy. She's the last of her bloodline type of thing. Very, very intrigued by this one for sure. This is one that I almost immediately read when I picked it up, but I was in the middle of like 3 other books. And then now I haven't read it at all. So, love that for me. Maybe I'll do a reading vlog where I read my Illumicrate and read my Fairy Loot books, because what's the point of me getting them if I'm not going to read them? This one I'm really, really excited about, and the reason I haven't read it yet is because I've been saving it for the fall, and that is Half City. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think this cover is gorgeous. I'm so happy that I got this one. Out of this stack, this is probably the one I'm most excited to read. It just seems so fun. I know it's like dark academia, which we know I love. Like, heck yes, heck yes. I love it. I'm obsessed. All right, this one I got is called Death's Daughter. Time for her to join the family business. So she's literally the daughter of Death, and I think she doesn't want to be killing people, but she does. This seems so fun. I'm really intrigued by this one, and I think it's like an academy setting as well, which we know I love. Is that a different man? Is this a love triangle? Guys, I eat up a love triangle. Sorry to say it. I know that's an unpopular opinion. I eat up a love triangle. I do. Life is a battlefield. Death is just a girl. Hell yeah. The cover, beautiful. Beautiful. A bargain sealed in blood. A desire sealed in hate. Okay, enemies to lovers. It's called The Wicked Sea, as you can see. Huh? See what I did there? See what I did there? Wow, I'm really on a roll today. But as you can see, this is kind of like a mermaid, little water inspired fantasy. Like I said, enemies to lovers. Are those angel wings? Oh my goodness. Are they enemies because one belongs to the sky and one belongs to the sea? Now this one might be YA. Like if there was one in the stack that was YA, it would probably be this one. But I don't know. Did they tell you? In this dark and sultry, enemies to lovers romantasy, a mermaid's battle hatred. A mermaid battles hatred and lust for the wretched warlock who saved her life. Okay. Maybe it's not YA. I hope it's not. Why do I want to read this right now? Why do I want to read this right now? I might. This is our last book, guys. We did it. And what a pretty book that it is. This book is gorgeous. It's The Lure of Wolves and Whispers. I can't say that. I know what it is. But like, look at this stunning book. So pretty. Hello. Yes. This video is really just making me want to read all of these books right now. Solely based on fan art. Not gonna lie. Also, wolves. After I read The Wolf King, I am really in the mood for wolf books. I really am. I'm dying to read some wolf books, which is crazy to me because I was never into that. I was a fanfic girly back in my day, and werewolf fanfiction, very popular. Very, very popular. I don't care if I had read every other fic in that fandom. I would not touch a werewolf book. And now here we are, I'm seeking them out because of how much I liked The Wolf King. So maybe I'll get to this one soon because I want a werewolf book, guys. I really do. This is just the stack of special editions. I was going to try to lift all of them up. I cannot do that. So I'm not going to even try because they will all fall on the floor. Out of these many books that I showed you today, let me know what is your favorite, what you think I should read next, maybe if I should avoid any of these. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for staying tuned for me yapping about many books. Love you guys. See you next time.